Hey guys, so today I'm going to be talking about things that I would want to see in a Sonic Adventure 1 remake. So, I grew up with Sonic Adventure. That was my very first video game, actually. I played it when I was like 5 or so, and it's still one of my favorite games of all time. I just replayed it like a few days ago, and I beat the whole thing again for like the 10th time in my life. And recently, in the past like I think year or so, and especially in the past few months, there's been a lot of speculation and rumors about a Sonic team making a Sonic Adventure remake, both of 1 and 2. But I'm mostly just going to be talking about Sonic Adventure 1 because I don't really like Sonic Adventure 2 all that much. It's okay, I like the Sonic stages, but that's about it. I don't really like anything else in the game except the music. The music is also good, but that's kind of a given because it's a Sonic game and almost every Sonic game has good music. But anyways, I have a list of some things that I would want to see in a Sonic Adventure remake, and the first thing I want to see fixed is the cutscenes, just in general, because there's like I like watching the cutscenes because it's nostalgic for me, but they don't look great. The animations are pretty bad. Even for an old game like it. The game came out in '98, I think, and the cutscene, the animations for the characters look really bad. The transitions and like lighting transitions and everything just look really stiff and not very fluid, basically. But you know, I still love the cutscenes just because they're just entertaining for some reason. I think a lot of it is the voice acting for the original characters, even if the voice acting is a little awkward, there's a reason behind that. It's because the voice actors weren't given context to the lines they were saying. They were just given lines and told to read them, so there was no context behind what they were reading, so so it ends up in a sort of funny result. But the next thing I want to talk about is, for something I want in the remake, is I would want them to use the current voice actors that we have. I'm not a huge fan of Roger Craig Smith. He's the current voice actor. Ryan Drumming voiced Sonic in the original game, and I like all the original voice actors in the game, but I would like to see, the current voice actors actually read the lines, because it's just that way, so they'll at least have context to it, and it will sound like more professional, I guess. It would be kind of awkward if they used the old dialogue from the original game into the remake. I'd still be fine with that if they chose to do that instead. It would probably save them a lot of money doing that, and that money that they could spend doing that could be put into the actual game. So I'm fine with either way, but I would prefer if they used all the current voice actors, including Roger Craig Smith. Even though I don't love him, I don't love his voice of Sonic, but it's okay. The next thing is new and improved graphics and lighting. That's basic stuff that should be expected in the remake. It's a remake, so it should obviously be better. I would hope it would be a little bit better than Sonic Forces, because I don't know, the character models and everything in that game looks a little bit plastic-like. It doesn't look bad, at least like the lighting for the levels looks great, but the whole game is just not great, honestly. Next thing is keep all the playable characters. Like, I don't want them to remove any characters, because people want some characters to be removed from the game. They want Big, obviously, to be removed, because the gameplay for him is not great, but I would still want them to be faithful to the original and not remove it. And some people also, for some reason, want Amy and Gamma to be removed from the playable characters, which that's a horrible decision if they did that. That would be terrible if they did that, because I don't really like Amy all that much as a character, but I do like Amy in Sonic Adventure 1. Especially, like, the gameplay is cool because you're having to constantly run away from a robot the entire game. who's trying to attack you, and it's really interesting, and like you're having to solve puzzles doing that. It's a different take on Sonic gameplay, and also Gamma's gameplay is like, I mean, the gameplay is okay. Like, you're doing a lot of like shooting and stuff. I find it fun, but like the story is one of the best written stories of any character or anything in a Sonic game. Basically, is Gamma's story. The story of him, like, because he's an animal trapped inside of a robot, and your job is basically to free a bunch of other robots so you can release the animal that's trapped inside of them, and then that's pretty much it. And okay, next thing is give smooth, fluid animations. Like, this also obviously applies to the cutscene, but it's also in the gameplay. Because the original has really good like gameplay animations, at least not in the cutscenes, obviously, but in the gameplay, everything works pretty well. There's some like stuttering issues that sometimes happen. I'll talk about that in a minute, because there's another like thing that comes right after this. I guess I can just go on to the next topic. Better object wall collisions. So, like, a lot of times in the original game, the camera would always get stuck on walls or behind walls all the time, especially in the later levels. It's not really an issue in the beginning levels, but as the game gets more ambitious in the level design, the camera can't really keep up, especially in like the final levels. And also just the characters in general, they tend to get stuck on walls if you're going too fast against walls, and instead of like sliding against the wall, you end up getting stopped dead in your tracks by the wall, and it's kind of annoying sometimes. I'm used to it because I've played the game so many times, but I can see how that would aggravate newcomers, so I definitely want that to be fixed. I have two more topics. Fix plot holes and inconsistencies. And inconsistencies, sorry. So there is like some tiny plot holes in the game. I don't really think they're very significant, but they are there. And you know that critics and everything will rip into that, so you don't really want that in your game. There's like some easy ways to fix that, unless you're using the original dialogue for the characters, in which case that can cause some like limitations with fixing the plot holes. But they could easily just add or remove some cutscenes from the game if they need to in certain sections to bring more consistency to the stories and stuff, because basically the whole game is a bunch of characters that all are a part of the same story, but like different subsections of the story basically that intertwine with each other. So that can cause some issues with like consistency throughout it. Okay, the last topic, and this kind of goes back to the wall collision thing, but this is the most important thing to me, is to stay faithful to the controls. So, the original Sonic Adventure has probably the best controls in any 3D Sonic game that's ever been made, and the game is like 22 years old now. And Sonic Team has never been able to make controls better than that, aside from some boost games, like the day stages in Sonic Unleashed and the modern Sonic levels in Sonic Generations, but those are boost games, and there's two different like types of 3D Sonic games. There's the adventure formula and there's the boost formula, and only a handful of games have used the adventure formula, and the one that got it best was the very first Sonic Adventure. So the way that it plays is extremely smooth. There is some like slow characters like Amy and Big. Gamma is kind of slow, but a little bit faster than those two. But the rest of the characters play perfectly. They have like perfect physics, aside from like hitting walls. But the rest of the game, like throughout the game, especially Sonic, he plays very well. Like, you can control him in every direction super smoothly, and like if you're turning sharply, he'll slow down, and the less sharply you turn, then he will obviously speed up, and then you can like really have fun with the way that the physics are with the controls. So I want the remake to stay faithful to that, basically. That's about all I had to say. Again, this whole remake is a big speculation and rumor. There's a lot of evidence behind it, so it really could happen, and I hope it does, because that would be a really big nostalgia trip for me. I would love that. I would buy that as soon as I possibly could. But yeah, this has been the video. So thank you for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, everyone.